Okay, welcome to our team call tonight. You guys, I'm so excited to get back to team calls. It is so fun to see everybody's faces and just chat because I know a lot of times we just don't get to be together. So we are going to be kind of merging our teams to do team calls because it's so much more fun with more people. So we are going to be doing it with our team, Shar's team, Donnell's team, and then when we get too big to fit on like 4 screens, maybe we'll split off and do our own thing. But it's just way more fun to do it together. So we're going to try this time, 8 o'clock Mountain Time, and then pretty soon our time's going to change, and we're going to be on time with Shar and Callie and everybody over there. So we might move back to 7 so that it's not like super late for Donna and people, because it's already late for Donna. I bet she's in bed. If someone wants, Cal, do you want to text her? I think she wanted a text. Okay, so I just wanted to go over, there's so many things happening in the next couple of months. So I just want to talk about a few things, and then Callie, I'm going to turn it over to Callie, and she's going to share some awesome things that she learned at Brennan Burchard's High Performance Academy that she went to. And he has one coming to Phoenix pretty soon. So if you guys want to go to that, that's a good thing to think about. Okay, so they announced today that, I don't know if you guys knew this, but last month, if you got Success Club 20, then they are going to give you 10 elite points. And so they decided to do that this month too, but they're also, so if you get Success Club 20 or above, they are just giving you 10 elite points. Plus, if you get Success Club 10 to 19, then they're going to give you 5 elite points. So what's so cool about this, you guys, is the new leader conference is in January, and they have lowered the standards like for what you have to do to get there. Last year, it was like you had to have, hey Donna, you had to have like pretty much all your elite points, and you had to be a 2-star diamond. This year, you only have to be a 1-star diamond, and you only have to have 10 elite points. So if you're like at 0 elite points, which you shouldn't be, but maybe you don't have very many, if you got 10 to 20 Success Club points, you'll just be given elite points, and it could really help you get to that new leaders conference. And I heard it is like the best thing. Like, so we got to all strive to get there. Okay, so, and then this month for Success Club is you get a double time cinch bag and a workout towel. And then we have all of these things coming out. So Clean Week just came out. So if you guys have not been promoting for Clean Week, do it, because it's going to be a game changer, I think, for our free group. It's like you don't have to do anything but build relationships, because everything's creative for you. So just kind of do your marketing calendar, figure out how you want to run it. I think I'm going to do mine different from now on, because I want to start doing like my challenge group the second Monday, my coach sneak peek group the third Monday, and then my free group the last Monday, because then I could get all those people rolling into my challenge group that's going to start in the second week of the next month, and I can hit Success Club early. Because the way, like if you're doing it at the first of the month, then you're trying to like get Success Club and trying to run a free group, and it just kind of gets confusing because I'm kind of promoting for both. So I will put out like what I'm going to do next month. I've been thinking a lot about it, and if you guys have great ideas of how you're going to do yours, that would be awesome. And then be looking. They're going to have, so 80 Day Obsession comes out in January, and I cannot wait for that program. But they're going to have this little, it's a 5-day sneak peek called Little Bit of Obsessed. So December 14th, which is my birthday, so I'm going to remember that. It's going to start, and you're going to have 5 days of Little Bit Obsessed and get to check it out. And so those little sneak peeks are huge to start planting seeds in people's minds. So make sure you bake those into your workout calendar and do the sneak peeks because they're super important. And even like the clean week, it's out, so you can start doing those workouts and saying, hey, this workout is in my free clean week, so get people excited about those workouts. And then the double time, this is kind of exciting. I heard this today. So double time, they're going to have a sneak peek of that October 19th for 2 days. And so we need to do that. But this is what's so cool about double time is it's going to be like clean week. It's going to be before the paywall. So they don't have to put in their credit card. You can do family free groups. You guys, this would be so fun through the holidays. So since we know that, just start coming up with ideas of how you want to promote that. And I know one coach has really started putting people, like families, in kind of a sneak peek right now. And then when it comes out, they're ready to rock and roll. So that is awesome too. So anyway, we have so many things, a new back office, a ton of things coming out these next few months and launching in the UK. So it feels a little overwhelming, but it's all super exciting too because all these changes, like Beachbody just has our back and always giving us new things to get people excited. So, okay, you guys, I'm going to turn the time over to Callie. She just had an amazing time. Brandon Burchard spoke at Summit this year and he was awesome. And then she just went to his high performance academy. And so take it away, Cal.
Okay, I am excited, you guys. Seriously, there was so much. I had a really hard time to even narrow down what I wanted to talk about tonight. And I don't know that I've even been able to do that. But I am going to just start with the thing that we know that we talk about all the time is that we really have to know where we're going. We have to have a vision of where we're going and actually be able to see ourselves going in that direction and see ourselves achieving the things that we want in life. And so he talked a lot about vision and being intentional and having aspirations for all of these things, but to be able to see yourself in those situations. So I want to, if possible, I don't know how this is going to work, but I want this to be more of an activity that we can all get involved in, at least parts of it, because I want to hear kind of your thoughts on these things, and also give you some ideas of what I took away and things that I have been things that I've been doing since I went. So I'm gonna try. I did a little PowerPoint. I'm just gonna use it as an outline kind of thing, but hopefully it'll flow a lot better than just this. But let me see if I can I share my screen? Yes, okay. Okay, can you see that? Can you see my screen? Okay, so yeah, so we're just going to talk about getting clear on our vision first of all, and one thing that he started off talking about is the different kinds of life that we can all be a part of, that we all kind of are in, but it's all about the life that we choose, that we really do have a choice in the type of life that we live, and it just takes a lot more discipline to get to the charged life, which is the life that we all want to live. So he gave a kind of an analogy about the first one, which is the caged life, And he said, can you imagine a tiger that's in the wild and it gets captured and put into a cage, and the first couple of weeks it's just like, you know, like scratching at the bars and like really angry and just really wanting to get out of that cage. But after a couple of weeks of being in there and not being able to get free, then he just kind of resigns himself to being caged up. But inside, he still feels trapped, and he's tightly bound and just frustrated, and he's kind of, you know, looking at everyone outside of the cage and feeling like, you know, like anger towards them, like why do they have that kind of life, that freedom, and I don't? And you just feel like that nobody understands you if you're in this caged life. And I think on social media you can kind of see these types of people. They're the types of people who complain about everything and they kind of judge people like that have a better life than they have. You can tell like they're just really negative online, and so you can really kind of pick out these people. They're just not happy, and they're not in a place that they want to be, but they just don't know how to get out of it. Then the second type of life is comfortable life. And I think that probably most of us are in that life right now. Like for me, myself, like I find myself like I really want to have a charged life, and I want to, you know, like I know I just feel like there's something more inside of me, and I more that I want to do in my life. But I'm also like pretty comfortable. Like, you know, I'm just, it's up until this point, it really hasn't pushed myself. I haven't pushed myself to get outside of my comfort zone enough to be consistently working towards that charged life. So the charged life, he said, it just feels different. It's like a sustained high performance, and you just are super excited about life. So this is what a charged life looks like. He said that you're just fully engaged. You embrace, like, he says, embrace the suck or honor the struggle is what he kept saying as well. I got a hat that said honor the struggle, because I am like, I love that. Because the struggle, and it just helps, it makes you realize like that there's something that you are working towards, and you're gonna, you know, you're gonna get past it if you do it well, and honor the struggle and not hate everything. He said if you hate on things, then it just turns into a monster. And that's one thing that really hit me, because I really have hated this, like inviting people. That's been my biggest struggle. I just hated it, and I dread it. And he's like, that dread is a dream killer. If you are dreading things and hating things, then it kills your dreams. And so he's like, just find joy in everything that you do, and bring joy, live life to the fullest. Be responsible. I love this. He said, be responsible for the energy you bring into this space. He works with Oprah Winfrey, and he actually did a lot of trainings and a lot of coaching with her, with all of her and all of her employees. And he said that before you go on to stage, like into her studio, when she was doing the Oprah show, there was a big sign that said, please be responsible for the energy you bring into this space. And seriously, since I went to this conference, like so Tim, my husband, went with me to California, but he was taking care of the boys. And I knew I knew before we went, I'm like, that is going to be the hardest thing, because we're going to be stuck in a hotel room. He's not going to have anything to really do with the kids, and they're just going to be going crazy. And he took him to the zoo one day and they loved it. But that was actually the day that was the hardest because he gets back super tired and they are wired. And so he was like begging me to come home early from the conference that day. He's like, I can't do this. I need some help. And I'm like, I told them, I said, I came here for this specific reason. And I told them before we went that it was going to be hard to be able to keep the boys entertained and that it, you know, I'm like, are you sure you want to go? And he said, well, what am I going to do with them here? It would be the same thing. And I said, well, at least at home they would have their own toys and you could have them watched, you know, like they have space that they can run around so, but he still wanted to go. So I knew that night, like going home, because I just got a lift to go home, to go back to the hotel. And I knew that I needed to go in with a lot of positive, happy energy, or it would just like be horrible, like, you know. And so he taught us different ways to bring in positive energy and to, before you go into any situation, to just be able to clear your mind and to release things before you go in, and just go in like with clarity and intention of what you like, how you want to show up for that person. So that has helped me, not just that day, but like since then I've used that almost every day to be able to show up in a more positive way. Like the last couple of days I haven't been feeling great and I did not want to do my workouts, but like I totally just released everything and put a smile on my face, and I just had so much fun, especially today. Like my workout was super fun and my boys were all over the place and crazy, but it was actually a really fun workout with them. So bring the joy in everything that you do. And then he said that the third one in the charged life, people that are living a charged life have is confidence. And the more confident, like it's a confidence competence loop where the more skill you gain, the more confidence you gain, and the more confidence you gain, the more skill you gain. So you get more competent in everything. So it's just this loop that you just keep getting more and more confident and competent in the way that you are able to do your business. Okay, so next thing, this is kind of where we're going to get into you guys kind of taking part in this activity. So envisioning your future, and just more how you want to show up in life, and if there's attributes or things that you would like to be better at, then that's what we're kind of getting at here. So I liked this quote: dream lofty dreams, and as you dream, so you shall become. Your vision is the promise of what you shall one day be. Your ideal is the prophecy of what you shall at last unveil, by James Allen. So okay, so I want you guys to ask yourself these questions. So how do you perceive yourself over the last several months with your significant other, at work, if you work, with your kids, with your team, and in social situations with strangers? Just think of different situations and how you really, like how you feel like you came across in those situations. And then ask yourself, is that who I really see myself being in the future? And if not, how would my future self look, feel, and behave differently in those situations? Okay, and then this is the part that I really like. So if you could describe yourself in just 3 aspirational words that would sum up who you are at your best future. I think that's supposed to be self. At your best future self, what would those words be? So 3 words, 3 aspirational words that would sum up who you are at your best future self and what those words would be. And then why are those words meaningful to you? So this was actually really powerful there, because he would have us, like, just kind of out of the blue, he would yell out first word, and everybody would yell out their first word. And it was like it was crazy, because at first it was just like all these words all over the place and they weren't in unison at all. But as he kept doing it, like, it just like this, everybody do it at the same time. And it was just a really powerful thing. So if you, and I realized, like, my words, I think about them all the time now, and like how I want to show up in my life, and how that's going to bless the lives of the people that I am around. So is anybody willing to share what your words are? I'll share mine, and then if you guys decide, if anybody wants to, then let me know. But so at the conference, my words were compassion, brave, and kind. And I chose compassion because it's just been like recently that I feel like I've gained a lot of self-compassion. And sorry if I get emotional, because I got emotional the whole time there, every time I talked about my why and everything. So, but compassion I chose because I'm like, okay, first of all, I want to start with myself and have compassion for myself. And the more compassion I have for myself, the more compassion I will have for other people. And because I feel like everyone deserves to be loved and to be cared for. The second one is brave, and the reason why I chose that is because, like, seriously, going to that seminar by myself is like the scariest thing for me, but it was so good, and totally empowering. And I just realized, like, everyone there is, you know, like, everyone there is there for to grow and to become better, and to but they're all there, like, really lifting each other up as well. And I think that's for the most part, that's how people are. People aren't bad. I don't believe. Anyway, so, like, I think people are really, like, for myself, I wonder sometimes how I could come across, because I am quiet. I'm a little, like, I don't know. Sometimes I just wonder if people think that I am stuck up or something, because I'm really, like, I'm shy at first. But, like, I chose brave because I'm like, okay, this has, like, made me grow more than anything can. And so I wanted to choose something that would help me be brave every single day, and to really focus on stepping out of my comfort zone and being brave. The third one, kind, is like, I just really want to, like, look outside of myself more, and to really find people, like, look for the ways that I can actually, you know, like, just give gifts or be of service, or like do shout outs for people, you know, just like help lift people up and show kindness in ways that are, you know, more creative too than just, you know, and just kind of going outside of myself to find ways to do that. So those were my 3 words. And as I heard other people's words, I'm like, oh, that's a good one, you know, so I'm like, maybe I should change mine, but I kept mine because I'm like, and he said, after a while, when you feel like you've mastered those, you can get some more and do something, you know, find 3 new words or whatever. So, but does anyone have words that they would like to share and why they are important to you? You can unmute yourself, Donna. I don't know how to unmute you. Oh, there you go.
Hi, guys. Okay, so my 3 words are, can you hear me? Authentic, joyful, and inspiring. Those are my 3. Because awesome. I think that, you know, oftentimes it's easy to put on the not so real, what's going on in our daily life. And joy or being joyful, it's when you talked about the different parts of, you know, how we act with our kids, with our spouse, with our team, things like that. Some areas I do that a lot better than others. So I need to work on that. And then inspiring. So that's my goal, is to inspire other mothers, inspire other women, that even through, you know, hard times and difficult times, that they can do hard things. So those are my 3, and that's why I have them.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I love that. Yeah, authentic was one that I wanted to still or change to, and enthusiastic is another one that because I tend to be more low key, but I really like to, like, when we were there, like, he just really helped you bring out the enthusiasm and joy. And I'm like, okay, I can do that, you know. So I'm working on it. That's one thing that I would like to work on as well. So anyone else would like to share? No? Okay, we'll go on. Thank you, Donna, for sharing. I really appreciate that. Okay, so then he talks a lot about generating energy and about how he said this is his favorite thing to say. He says it over and over, but he says power plants do not have energy, they create it, they generate it. So he said, and we can do the same thing. We can generate our own energy. So I've got to tell you, like, when I go to these seminars, I was really worried because I have a lot of fatigue with my MS and stuff, and so I was really worried that I was just going to be so tired through this whole thing, because it was from 9 to 7 every day, and there was, like, and he didn't do breaks. He didn't call them breaks, but he didn't do actual breaks until lunch. He had like a 2-hour lunch break, and then, but between those other 8 hours, there was no breaks. So anyway, so I was really, really nervous that I was just going to be tired the whole time. And I can tell you, like, I have never had more energy in my life than I did during those 4 days. And it's crazy because I only got, like, I did not sleep hardly at all because my boys were in the hotel room. I mean, it's just really hard when you have little ones and they're not in their own space. But like, seriously, I probably got 2 hours of sleep each night. And so I mean, I had my Energize in the morning, which helped, but like, other than that, I didn't have anything. And I was yeah, I just had so much energy the whole time. And he taught us ways to kind of release release stress. He has a mantra where you just like, just kind of close your eyes and just keep saying release, 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 and do it for a minute or two until you can just like release all of the stress and worry. And I did that before this before this webinar too, because I was like really nervous about this. But anyway, and he taught us how to do Qigong. Have you heard of? I don't even know how to say it or spell it, but it's really interesting. But it's basically like patting energy. You cup your hands and you imagine this positive energy coming into your hands, and then you start at your ankles and you just pat all the way up on your left, clear till you're like patting your butt and your hamstring at the same time, and then you do the other side, and then you pat your arm all the way up, and then your shoulders, and you do that on both sides, and then you bend over and you pat the middle of your back for a little bit. And then it's amazing when you do that, because I was getting to the point where my back was hurting and sore, and after we would do that, he did that a few times while we were there, and it just totally released like the tension in my body, and I got this surge of energy. So he's like, if you find yourself in the middle of work and you're like, you're not staying focused on what the activity is that you're trying to do, it's like, just step away for a second, do a Qigong, and come back, and then he also did the tapping, where we did our 3 words. We would say our 3 words 3 times, tap above your eyebrows, under your eyes, under your nose, on your chin, around your ears, the back of your head, and then the top of your head. And then you do it on your chest, but when you do it to your chest, you say, I am, and then your words, and you do that 3 times. I am compassion. I am brave. I am kind. And so you do that 3 times, and that was really powerful as well. But these are like all these little tricks that he had of like energizing you and kind of bringing you back to your to the type, like leveling up and where you want to be, and going, being intentional about all that. So anyway, that is my story. It was crazy that I was able to have so much energy during that time, because I think I probably got a total of maybe 10 hours of sleep in that 4 days that I was there. So, okay. And then he makes winning his morning a non-negotiable. And this is his morning routine. He wakes up, drinks 20 ounces of water, does 20 minutes of stretching, 20 minutes of reading, and then he'll pick an inspirational passage that he read, and he will speak it out loud as an inspirational speaker. Like he's, and he had us do that as well. Like he picked a quote from his workbook, and he would say it all at the same time, and it was just kind of cool. Anyway, and then 20 minutes of planning your day. But he's like, even if you already have your day scheduled, he's like, just think about what is going on that day and how you're going to show up. Everything about that he taught about was being intentional and clear about what you wanted for that day. And this was cool to me. This is kind of it, like, because I've always heard, like, just you got to have a vision. You got to know where you're going. But he talked about how the high performers don't only just have like a vision of like what is possible, but also like the possible things that could go wrong, that could trip you up. And so they would have a plan to like of how they're gonna get through that in a good way, you know. And so he said every morning, then he asked himself, I think it's on this. Yeah, so this is his within his daily routine. When he's in the shower after doing everything, these are the three questions that he asked himself. He said, what can I be excited about today? What or who might trip me up or cause stress, and how can I respond in a positive way from my highest self? And that was a big like aha moment for me, because I'm like, I've always just thought about the good of my vision of like where I wanted to go and what I wanted to accomplish, but I never thought about the possible, you know, because it's never going to be a smooth road to get there. There's always going to be struggle. And so I think that's really important to build that into your vision, knowing how you're going to get past it when the struggle does come, and get past it in a good way. So I thought that was really cool. And then who can I surprise today with a thank you, a gift, or a moment of appreciation? And I thought that was really cool too, because I'm like, you know, we're all about serving and loving and lifting others, and that is just a really intentional way that we can do something every day. Like really think about, okay, so today who is it going to be that I'm, you know, and just do it. Have an intention every day of somebody that you can lift and serve that day. So okay. So then he was like, this is just one area that he was talking about. He's like, high performing people, they have a plan to, like, when they even when they're in social situations, they know in every situation that matters, they know who they want to be and how they want to interact with others. And I thought that is really powerful. Like, I want to become that kind of person that is so intentional in everything that I do, that even in social situations, I know who I want to be and how I want to interact with others. And I thought that's just really powerful. And I put this door trigger down because this is how he has different triggers that remind him of things throughout the day. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, those three words that you chose for yourself, he had us put them in our phone as an alarm and label the alarm with those words. And so they come up a few times a day. And he said when they come up, then it just reminds you that, oh, these are things that I am working on, that I want to be better at and become more intentional for. And so I've been doing that as well. But this trigger for him was, it's a door trigger. Like every time he goes through a doorway, he says this to himself: I am entering this room as a happy man ready to serve. And so I thought that was really cool. But he has triggers for everything. He has a trigger for lines that if he's stuck in traffic or in a grocery line or anything like that, then he just has a trigger to for lines or things that he's waiting, you know, like that he has to be waiting for something. Then it triggers him to ask himself, like, to rate himself on his energy level and how he's showing up. And he said if it's a low energy, then he's like, come on, man, you know, like in his head, he's like, Brendan, step up. You're lucky to be alive. You know, just find joy in what you're doing and, you know, step up kind of thing. So, anyway, so I thought it was cool so I'm looking for different ways that I can set triggers to help myself, like remind myself of different things. Okay, so I didn't even finish my slides, as you can see, but I had to put this one on here because this was huge to me as well, is to raise necessity. He's like, if you are not like, if your daily activities, if you are not doing them every day, the activities that should be building your business and making things happen in like the way, like moving you towards your vision and your goals, then you need to raise your necessity. And he says that he works with a lot of military, like sorry, I lost my word, but he works with a lot of military, and he said they are just like, it is necessary for them to be like on, like to just be really focused in all the time in situations that that are just really scary and stuff. And so he said they have a necessity to just be completely disciplined in the way that they go about their drills and their life. Like everything is just totally necessary for them to do well. And he said, so you need to find a way to raise your necessity if you don't feel like you have to do these things every day that will bring you closer to your goals, then you have to find a way to raise that necessity. I'm going to try to find my notes. Hang on a second. I don't know if I can find it, but anyway, but I thought that was, and I did a post in our challenge group about it because it just really struck me that I need to do a lot better about that. Like if I raised my necessity to where I absolutely did these things every single day, like you can imagine where we would be in our businesses. So he said, be excellent at what you do because you expect it from yourself. And he also talked about like weaponizing your hours of your business hours. And he's like, you've got to be so clear about the things that you want to accomplish during a certain time. And he talked about how he has another trigger is his email inbox or message bot inbox. He said whenever he sees that there are messages in there, he thinks of a caged lion. And he's like, no, he thinks of a lion whose cage is open, and that if you open it, then it's dangerous. So he's like, beware the lion. And he kept having us say that. He's like, inbox means beware the lion, because it's a dangerous hole that you can find yourself getting into, because he talked a lot about being distracted and just being really like on intentional with your time, weaponizing your time. So knowing exactly what you want to accomplish during your work time. And if email is not on your work schedule, don't even open it. He's like, don't go there. He said, if messaging is not on your work schedule, don't open it. He's like, that is dangerous. That is a dangerous place to go when you're trying to be on point with something else. So you just got to know like where you struggle with staying on task. And that's, for me, it's anything social media. So I've just got to I just start scrolling and clicking. And I think a lot of us do that. And so since then, it's so weird because I've actually, I guess I may just be more aware of it now, but I am still like, I've got to find a way to shut it down, because I caught myself doing that today when I was trying to work on this, and I just kept scrolling and clicking and scrolling and clicking, and it just, it is a dangerous hole to get yourself into if you're trying to work on something else. So let me see if I can find, I think those are the main things that I wanted to talk about. I would love to, we've been going for almost an hour, so maybe I will do another one sometime about how he talks about motivation, because I thought that was really awesome information as well. So, but anyway, use your 3 words to help you stay to help you stay on point with what you want to do. To be intentional. I lost the word again. To be totally intentional with the type of person you want to become, and the way you want to show up for your friend, your family, and everyone else, because that has helped me. And put them in your phone. I think that is a great trigger to help you stay on, to keep those in your mind. But other than that, I think that's all I have for tonight. So thank you, ladies. I appreciate you hopping on, and would love to, if you feel like sharing your words, then would love to hear it someday. So thank you.
Thanks, Cal. I made you host, so you're going to have to make me host, I think, so I can end the recording.
Oh.
Thanks, guys, for hopping on. Anyone have any last words? No? Everyone's so quiet. Donnell did share her.
That was great. It was so good.
Thank you.
It was awesome. I have lots of notes, and I kept taking pictures of your screenshots so I could go back and really think about it.
Yeah.
I always take more time to think, but it was awesome. So thank you.
You're welcome. I really appreciate everybody for hopping on. Kate, I don't know how to.
So you go down to participants and then go to me, and you do more. Donnell shared her words in the chat, and they are driven, inspirational, and present.
Oh, I love that.
Did you want to say anything about it?
I think they pretty much say it themselves.
I'm still stewing on my words.
Present is another one that I wanted to steal from somebody. I liked that one too. So
I like intentional too.
That's a good one.
What were you gonna say, Donnell?
I said don't overthink it.
I know. I'm an overthinker.
I know you are.
Donna just had hers like that. I'm sitting here. I have too many words I like. I bet one of Char's is evolve. Right?
Evolve and empower. Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Evolve. Now they have to be all E. No, I'm just kidding. Energetic, evolve, empower. E cubed.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, guys, I love you.
Yeah.
I'll let you go to bed, cute little Donna. Thanks for
I know,
staying out of bed
so
for
late.
us. Okay,
You're
guys.
so cute, Donna.